This is Winter is Coming, episode 10 of Old Man's Land, a Farming Simulator 19 gameplay by Service Farm. Today we have the first snow. The ground is frozen, so we can't do fieldwork. We are selling the already fermented silage and overlook to sell our crops in the silo. We experiment a bit with trying to unload the wood into the wood crusher and end up with chopping it up into hand maneuverable pieces. Late in the day, we start on cleaning up the second half of Storm Steve's mess and let the day run out, mostly punctual, on the deck. Good morning, Old Man's Land. Today is early winter. Snow has fallen overnight. Today's high temperatures are around -5. The day should be clear, but we are expecting more snow tonight. Have a wonderful day. Okay, let's get started. We need to do a lot of cleanup. It was another delayed end of the day yesterday. So we need to clean up. We have a harvester kicking around, tractor, everything is just a mess. So let's get some of the stuff cleaned up, moved away. Our silage sold. Woo! Harvester skidding. There's something that could be a nice sport. Okay, repair. Yeah, for $20. We repair you. And then we go park you. I want to try something out. Not sure if this is going to be working out. So let's see. I kind of want to park our harvester in the old bale shed because we don't have an equipment shed as of now. But I don't want it to use up that much room. And the problem with the harvester is it's kind of T-shaped. So it's kind of skinny on the back, but requires a lot of room up front. So I'm kind of thinking of bumping it against the wall. That's the trees that are standing around here. So that ain't gonna work as I had intended. Let's just drift it. I'm surprised there's no snow in the trailer. Actually check if we have tip side back, tip side left, tip side left. Okay, we are back to tip side left on both trailers, so we're good. Why did it stop overloading? we'll probably never know. So the other thing what we actually need to check out is our crop rotation. I know that we have grass in there, so we need to check out where that is. And then, because of this now added parcel of land, actually checking how we're going to be doing that with the fields. I have a couple ideas, but they're very roughed in at this time, simply because I somewhat know the map, or will need to have a look into that. Yes, normally I would park the trailers beside it, but this bunker is so low fill level that I actually just can't drive over it. That's why I'm doing it this way. And in other news, although episode 9 is scheduled to be released, so it actually happened while I was working on episode 9, but post-recording. So I have to announce that now. It's the first opportunity that I actually can talk to you guys, because we crossed 30 subscribers. And as you might know, I think I spoke to that. I like to go by the 1s, 3s in machine learning stuff, because it's actually creating, if you go 1, 3s and then go by magnitude, so 1, 3, 10, 30, 100, 300, 1000, 3000, 10,000, that kind of approach. And this gives you roughly, very roughly spoken, about a 3 times step every time. 1 times 3 is 3, so you're getting to the 3. 3 times 3 is 9, so you're getting to 10, roughly speaking. It's an approximation that you can do with 2 steps, tripling with each step, so you're kind of creating the same multiplier effect to canvas large areas of numbers and actually get an idea where a sweet spot lies. That's why I'm using it, or how I'm using it in machine learning. Now, I'm simply reusing this pattern and for subscriber milestones. So 10, 30, and then the next one is going to be 100. And we reached the 30 subscriber milestone, which is awesome for this channel only being a few weeks old. I think that is something. And this is my part is creating the content. Your part is enjoying the content and subscribing. You are the community. You are the audience. Without you, nothing works. So those subscribers, that goal is absolutely on you. I didn't do anything for that. It's all you. So thank you very much for that. And I missed that one. Thank you very much for that. And this is absolutely exciting news. And while we're talking about milestones, this is the 10th episode that is coming out in this Old Man's Land gameplay. 30 subscribers, and so far no Easter egg has been identified. Why did you do that? I have the other one selected. Because I haven't changed it. Okay. So the couple things that I want to do, actually, we can check our prices, because We have wheat, and barley, and oat. Barley is high, oat is relatively high. Canola we already sold. Soybeans is down. Okay, so barley or wheat. And how much do we have in our store? 14,000, 15,000. Barley is at a high because we need either of those for our chicken. So we don't want to sell both. And it doesn't matter which one we take because both of them are too big for our small trailer. So we have to go another time anyhow. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be getting a second mower for the bag. I've been thinking about that since yesterday, or since in-game yesterday a little bit, and it's making sense to have a second mower. I don't expect us to be able to afford a large enough tractor to run the triple mower anytime soon. So having the second mower, we are going to be using it at least 2 years, I expect. So it's making sense to have it simply to save the time for mowing, while mowing. And I'm also going to be getting the water trailer. We're going to be preparing for chicken as our first animals. I don't know yet with the animal dealer shut down, but we need to look into that. How we're going to be getting them. And while this is emptying, let's get our mower. We probably actually can get that second hand. That's 5,000 cheaper, so that is fine. And then also, where is animals? We need a water trailer. Wait a second. Yes, let's do this. Slippery. Just trying out how easy it is actually to get this tractor to slide. I can't lower it without dropping it just completely on the floor. Ah, the windmill is going like crazy. Let's get our mowers serviced and put away. I actually need to get the second one from out in the field. And just for the fun of it, I'm going to be seeing if I can actually mow. I don't think so. It shouldn't work, but you actually can mow it, but you probably can't collect it. Yes, there is no grass. Okay, so you can mow it, but it's actually not creating the swath. So, as expected, doesn't work. So we're fine with that. Let's see if I got everything in here. Yes, repair 407. Oh no. Well, we're at it. We repair you, and let's customize you with these tires. And of course you're just dropping the mowers again. I had them in here, but that doesn't quite make sense anymore with two of them. So let's put them in here. Okay, so we've got those, then we need to clean up our trailers. Interesting. grizzly bear? Yes. Yeah, I'm covering the trailer simply to prevent snow from falling in there. I might go and clean the snow at some point, but that's not a priority at this time. Too aggressive. Am I done now with the cleanup? I think so. Okay, let's quickly check the crop rotation. We've got canola, wheat, so we're going to be wheat, and then we're going to be having grass. We've got 2 times soybeans. Okay, that is fine. We can seed in early spring, so we have time there, barley as well. And the other one is, we had soybeans, we're going to barley. Okay, so we have those, and yes, we have our garbage cleaned up. Okay, we need to empty this trailer, so let's see how we actually can do that. That's somewhat of an idea. That does not really help, does it? Huh, this time I'm doing it better. I'm going to be getting a weight right away, not only afterwards. This is going to be tedious. That is not going to work. Okay, that was interesting. Where did this wood go? As promised, I have a couple of examples for you how you can manipulate the message you want the audience to receive, especially with data. I did want to prepare these parts for you so that I'm not getting any of the data wrong. In particular in that regard, these examples might help you get an insight why. So, without further ado, let's dive into the first one. This example is from Western Eurasia and North Africa. The time frame is approximately 1346 to 1353. I'm referring to the plague or Black Death, or it is also known as pestilence. This time was marked by the outbreak of the bubonic plague pandemic. It is estimated that 75 to 200 million people died. Today, this is a large number. At that time, it was enormous. It is estimated that this plague reduced the world population from 475 million to 375 million. So, roughly spoken, 1/5 of the population was wiped out. Now, the impact was felt differently in different parts of the area, as well as in different parts of the social layers at the time. The poorer populace was affected more, relatively speaking, than the upper classes. Models show that it took the world population about 200 years to correct and compensate for this impact. This was a horrendous epidemic that devastated not only families and communities, but also unsettled existing social and economical structures, shifted religion, created and substantially altered artistic movements and interpretations. The second example is about a time period of about 6 to 8 years. During this time, as a result of other events, an unprecedented creation of wealth happened. And this mostly in the rungs of the lower classes of the society. This time increased the average wealth by a factor that usually would have taken a time frame of an estimated 8 generations. And all this in a few years. This resulted in people being able to form matrimonial alliances into social layers that was unthinkable only a few years prior. It also, in places, upset the established social structures and created a new order within certain limits. Now that you have heard both examples, the first about a pandemic of catastrophic proportion with unimaginable suffering and hardship, the second about an economic shift that propelled complete societies ahead by centuries and upset existing social structures. What would you say if I tell you that both are about the same event? That is right. Both these representations are based on the same event and data, and both omit selected parts of the complete data. Both highlight and complemented a selected part of the data. What I want you to take from this, every piece of information that is presented to you is biased. The bias comes explicitly or unconsciously, but the bias is there. If you don't know what the values are and what the agenda is of someone presenting you with facts and data, take it with a grain of salt. I'm not making a judgment here or saying that the one way is right or the other is wrong. What I'm saying is that, in this case, both are incomplete and as a necessary consequence, construct a bias. Now that we have seen an example that shows how it is relevant for us, why is it relevant for these AI apps? Simple. These AI models are trained on the data presented to them. For ChatGPT and Bard, the data is tons of texts. As we have to assume that all texts are biased, there is no possibility for the models trained on biased information not to have the same biases. And consequently, any response that these systems will generate will not be neutral, cannot be neutral. So the question becomes, how far can it be trusted, or should it be trusted? I want to repeat what I have been saying all along. These systems are enormous achievements and will go down into history as a milestone in the development of AI systems. This is just the beginning. Exciting times are ahead. With this, we have our lights on, and we're not going to be doing overtime. Yes, it's our own farm, so it's technically not overtime, but we're not going to be doing overtime for a third day in a row. We are going to be enjoying a chili burger on our porch. So with that, thank you for hanging around with me and our farmer. We still need a name for him. This is episode 10 of Old Man's Land, a Farming Simulator 19 gameplay by Service Farm. And we need a name for this episode. Winter is here. First day of winter, winter is here. Or winter is coming? Winter is coming. It is. Peace.